What's going on, everybody? You know what it is. Welcome to another edition of Live Lines here on the Keg YouTube channel. I'm your host, Dane Martinez, the spitting statistician. We got Matt in the building as well, Matt Dickson, Mr. New to Your Town. And if you are new to Live Lines, you're missing out because we're cashing on every show so far. We were off last week with the All-Star game, but Matt, I don't know about you, but I hit the under on that game. As soon as I saw that the shadows were in place at the start of that game, I was like, they ain't scoring. No, I think it was 7.5 was the total in that one. To me, that was kind of a free space on the bingo card. But
hell yeah.
We've already got some people in the chat. Philly, who's been with us for the last few weeks. JW in the chat. What's up with you guys going on? Remember, if you see something, say something. Let us know. We got Viper B47 in the crew as well saying what up to you guys. If you see things, let us know. We will discuss it. We will, try to workshop this together. There's power in the syndicate, in the conglomerate. Matt, I haven't talked to you in a couple of weeks. What's going on, brother, man?
What's going on, Dane? So how was your week off?
It was good. It was good. Watch the All-Star game. Was starting to get into soccer or football. Was betting this Gold Cup a bunch. So
what?
Yeah, man. Listen, if they make lines on it, I'll bet it.
I hear you.
I'm excited to maybe start betting the Little League World Series that's on the horizon. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter whatsoever, but we do have a lot of games on tap. We're going to be coming now uninterrupted every Tuesday for the balance of the summer into even into football season. So mark your calendars. And I've got two things that are on the horizon right now that right out the gate, I'd love to get your thoughts on, Matt. The first is, and they just scored again.
I know.
In Atlanta.
2 minutes earlier, we were given that.
And the Braves. Absolutely.
We were literally going to give the over in that. Right. Yep. We missed it now. I mean, we still can.
We still can. I've got the over now 19.5 at even money. All right. So just for those who don't know what we're talking about, we're in the fourth inning in Hotlanta. And I use Hotlanta specifically because we think the ball could be flying. It's already 8-5 Arizona. And Matt, me personally, I like the fact that the Braves are down if we're going to take the total, right? Because then potentially the Braves hit the bottom of the ninth. This Braves offense has been absolutely lights out. I think they had a streak of hitting a home run in like 28 or 29 straight games. That just got snapped. But, I think it's possible that they keep scoring here. Live total is now 19.5, even money to the over. I know we're basically saying, will 20 runs be scored in this game? But we still got 6 innings left to go, Matt.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, there could definitely be more runs in this game. I mean, we're going to get to the shit arms here in a minute, right? We're going to get to every middle reliever on both teams for the next 6 innings.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
Zach Davies is in still right now. He's gone 3.
For a minute.
Yeah. He's in for now, but he's already at 54 pitches through 3, but it doesn't matter. I mean, he's given up 5 runs already. We think runs will be scored here. Do we want to make that an official play right out the gate? I know it sounds crazy that right out the gate we're saying there'll be 20 runs scored in a Major League Baseball game, but you never know. It could be one of these Coors Field kind of games.
It's a lot of fucking runs.
It is. The other way to view it is that that's completely unsustainable. And if you're on that side, here is one thing I will say. Arizona in their second inning where they put up 5, some of those runs were unearned, Matt. The Braves had 2 errors in that inning. Some of those runs are unearned. And to be quite honest, in games where unearned runs are scored, I don't think the algorithm kind of accounts for that. It's kind of like in football when there's a pick 6 for part of the scoring. I kind of see that as an anomaly and like to go under. I think the same thing with unearned runs in baseball sometimes, but I kind of like this Braves offense to come back. Like for the Braves offense to come back and win, we almost have to get to 20 runs.
Yeah. If we were to go under 20, what is it, like a -110 or something?
Under 19.5 is what I'm seeing right now is 136.
No, okay.
So that's a little bit too much. But at the same time, we'll see what happens here as we go to the bottom of the 4th. And if, it changes batter by batter. So we get the first guy on base, then all of a sudden we'll probably be standing at, -110 on both sides.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep our eye on.
I'm not ready, Ding. Not quite ready yet. I gotta ponder that a little bit.
Okay. I got another one for you. And I ask you, Because it involves your Pittsburgh Pirates.
I know where you're going.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You hit me up on Twitter when we were talking about the show tonight, talking about what we had last time, like the Tigers plus 11.5 runs. And listen, we have a similar situation here in Pittsburgh. The Guardians are up 8-1 right now. We're in the 6th inning. You're getting 7.5 runs, though. So right now, you could get it and nothing else would have to happen. But at the same time, we always have been saying that Cleveland bullpen is not one necessarily to bet against, but it's not like we're going to see Class A. We're going to see, as I always say, the rough underbelly of the bullpen here. Does that matter to you? Are you going to back your Buccos?
Well, I may like the total a little better.
11.5.
And we're at 9.
We're at 9 in the
Pirates
bottom.
Are down. Yeah, I mean the Indians have been hitting. I mean lately.
Clearly, they got 8 runs on the board already tonight.
Well, I mean even over the last week, but I kind of like the total over because you're gonna get the middle of the road pen for the Guardians and for the Pirates, and the Pirates bullpen is terrible.
Yep. So like we still could get some, and also if you want to do it now. Pittsburgh has 3, 4, and 5 coming up this inning, I believe. And
it's 11.5.
It is. It's 11.5, and it's even money to the over, at least on FanDuel.
Man, I'd love that at 10.5.
Well, maybe if we get, first 2 men out or something like that, you can get it. But you like you think more runs could be scored.
Yeah.
All right, so even money if you want the over 11.5. Matt is also saying we could wait a little bit, see if it creeps down. But there's not a lot of time left here. We're going now into the top of the 7th here. So I don't know how long we want to wait to see what we can get.
No, you're right about that. We don't have much time.
We do not have much time. Other places on the board that are interesting to me, Mets are blowing out the White Sox at Citi Field. That game is in the bottom of the 4th, 7-2 Metropolitans. We are zip in St. Louis, and that's an interesting one to me. I always like games that are scoreless with those starting pitchers, right? But then when we eventually are going to get to the bullpen and, see if there's any cheap value there, that line, Miami, St. Louis, that started at 8 on the number live now, that's down to 4.5. Okay, that's down to 4.5. Cabrera on the hill for the Marlins. He's only thrown 35 pitches. And by the way, I don't want to jinx anything. He's pitching very, very well, Matt.
I have the Marlins in that. I took that one pregame, -1 plus 180.
Ooh.
Marlins.
Okay, well, Cabrera right now is, he's not allowing a damn thing. Let's put it that way. And Monty on the other side has thrown 64 pitches. So we'll see. That's something to keep our eye on as Cabrera keeps on pitching well. But what do you think about that in general? I love games where both starting pitchers are going really well. The total is down a good 3-4 runs since whatever the number closed at. In this case, it was 8 on the number. We're down to 4.5. And they're going to go to the bullpen eventually. Montgomery already has 64 pitches through 4. So sometimes I like to hop over that live total, but at the same time, we're messing with potential destiny here with Cabrera, who looks great, by the way, and is only 39 pitches in. Yeah,
before I address that, I do like more runs in this Mets-White Sox game.
Okay.
They're at
13.5 with 9 already in the bottom of the 4th and runners on for the Mets.
13.5?
13.5. It's locked right now because some action's happening. There's 2 runners on for McNeil, who I've got at the dish.
2 outs, though. I don't mind that over. What do you think about that over 13.5? I know the Mets are winning, so we may lose them at bat.
We would lose the bottom of the 9th. I'm not mad at that, but I want to see. Oh, they just scored again.
Shit.
So now they just scored again. Yeah, McNeil singled. Tommy Pham is in. So now what we got is runners on the corners. 8-2 Mets. So 10 runs in, and they boosted it up to 14.5. So the same question exists. Will there be 5 more runs scored in this game? And,
dude, all of our leans are just going crazy right now. More runs
we
in
say
Atlanta.
It, and then it happens. Right.
More runs in the Mets. Fuck.
More runs in the Mets. more runs with the Braves. That game is now 8-6 right away. As let's see how they got that one.
There's the ball off the wall.
Pilar doubled. Yep, Pilar doubled up the wall. And now we're flipping around to the top of this Braves order.
Two games we were on.
So it's going to be Albies, Riley, and Olsen if they can get another one in. But this game is now 8-6, bottom of the fourth with a runner on second base. That
and
live total is still 21. At 19 and a half.
Let's do it.
19 and a half. Yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun with this one.
Yeah,
I agree. So we're going to do that. I'm going to put that as an official play here. We're going to go over the 19 and a half in Arizona, Atlanta. I mean, this game is only in the bottom of the fourth. You know what I mean? So there's a
Atlanta's down too. Yep.
Left on that one. So let's add that one. I'm going to go ahead and edit that. We're going to put our plays that we make here on Live Lines, for those of you who don't know, on the scroll in the bottom. So that's where we're going right now. I'm going to enter that. And while I do that, what do you think about some of these scoreless games here? Miami, St. Louis, also Tampa, Texas, still scoreless. Live total drop in there.
Well, I actually took what the hell did I took? Like I said, I took the Marlins pregame -1 at +180. So anyone that jumps on board with that, I mean, I'd be cool with.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't know what it is now. I'd have to pull it up, but what's the Marlins money line?
Marlins money line is +130 because we got a runner on first for the Cardinals in the bottom of the fourth where they're still hitting. I've got one out. I've got one out for St. Louis.
Okay.
I'm St. Louis. Nootbaar grounded out. It's but him on first because Goldschmidt got forced on that ground out. So we're in the middle of the order now for St. Louis. Arenado and Contreras are the next two up. And while there is a member of the Cardinals on first base, they did not get there via a hit. That's all I'll say as Cabrera continues to pitch pretty well.
Right. So, I mean, I'm already invested at +180. So, but I wouldn't have a problem with someone jumping in money line with the Marlins.
Yep.
I mean, I looked at the lineups. I think the Marlins have a better line. They put out a better lineup today. I mean, the Marlins are surprising 10 games over 500.
They really are.
Yeah.
They really are. And at this point, the sample size is big enough, to say that, I think the same thing about, say, like the Orioles in the American League, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just a cute story anymore. Like they can truly threaten for that division. You know what? We're talking about the total in Atlanta. My guy JW in the chat is saying he kind of likes Atlanta money line. And that's interesting. Also, you can get plus money with the Braves. They're now down 2-8-6. We know they get the bottom of the inning. If that's the case, we got men on first and second and
Riley's up.
Austin Riley. And that's staring right now, at least, I see around plus 130. JW, you may got it a little bit earlier before these runners got on. He kind of likes Atlanta money line. I kind of like it too. I mean, this Atlanta offense is not something to scoff at. And what was 5-2 is already now 8-6. A 2-run difference is not a big deal for the Braves. I mean, what do you think? Or do you want to be – because at the same time, also, if we back the Atlanta money line, we are sort of implicitly doubling down on our over, right, Matt?
Yeah, and I like JW's pick. What I don't like is the juice. If we're down 2, we need to be getting more than 130, right?
It's because there's 2 runners on here.
No, I know.
Austin Riley goes yard, and all of a sudden,
I got you. Can we get the Braves plus 1.5 or minus 1.5? Minus a half, minus 1.5.
Yeah. Let me look at some of these alternate lines that we can get to come.
Because I would really like the Braves minus 1.5.
That's interesting.
Or I mean, plus 1.5. Sorry.
You mean minus 1.5?
No, they could stay. No, plus 1.5. Braves plus 1.5.
Oh, that's going to be a huge minus.
Or a half.
So plus 1.5 is minus 130.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's not bad. I mean, give me the money line. Give me the money line at plus 144 because I think they could come back and win, quite frankly. But if you like that, JW saying he's got plus 135. I see him now at FanDuel at plus 134. I almost have faith in the Braves to the point about the moving lines, JW. I want to see what you think. I'd almost wait and hope that they don't get these runs in. and hope that I can get to the Arizona top of the 5th still with a 2-run deficit. Because in that case, my money line will go up a bunch, and then I'll hit it because I'm okay still with a 2-run deficit with 5 at-bats left to go. It's almost like I don't want to get the value of having the runner in scoring position.
Right.
Rather get to the Arizona top of the 5th.
And I like the +1.5.
Okay.
And
Plus
you said it was
-1.5
-1.
Minus 148.
Well, yeah, it was just -130 something. So
right. Full count on Austin Riley here. Full count, 2 outs. Men on first and second. They'll be in motion there.
Yeah, full count.
They'll be in motion there. We'll see. Okay. JW says, he's with me on my point, but he actually, and Austin Riley has gone yard.
Dude,
Austin Riley
that's 3.
Gone yard.
That's 3.
Yep.
That's 3.
And so
either way we would have gone money line +1.5.
And so now it's 9-8 Atlanta. It's
but
locked.
We have the over. We already have the over, right?
Yeah, we've got the over. Well, no, we're total of 17, so we need a couple more to get that.
No. I mean, we bet the over.
Yes. We got the over 19.5 in, and now we're staring at 9-8 Atlanta. And literally, how many times has this already happened?
3.
We've been on the air.
We've been
times. For freaking 17 minutes. And we've talked about this Arizona-Atlanta game while we were talking about it. Boom, Riley goes yard. And now all of a sudden the Braves are -320 on the money line. We were talking about them at +145. You know, Matt liked the plus a run and a half. I said I was cool with the money line. JW.
Both would have been, yeah.
Yeah, both are fine. And by the way, this is the beauty of live lines, and this is the beauty of the chat. My man, the reason I got back in tune to this game is I saw JW, I saw you in the chat being kind of like Atlanta. Then we brought it up as the topic of conversation. We're hashing it out, and boom.
Yeah.
And there it is. So hopefully you just had a quicker trigger on it.
Well, now, I mean, Atlanta hasn't won the game yet, in fairness to J-Dub. It was a great call so far. So
that's fine. But at the same time, if you want to get cute, now Arizona's +230 on the money line. And if you had the 145, you could go on the other way. Or if you had the run, you could lock in profit here on some level. But this is not the only time it's happened. I mean, we were talking about the Mets as well.
That's the 3rd time in 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Right.
We're
talking about it.
We're identifying the right games. We just gotta
be quick with it. We gotta be quick with it. And here's the thing. I'm over here trying to host a damn show, right? I'm watching the game. I'm scrolling on the book. I'm trying
you do a great job
eye contact with the damn camera. We got Matt trying to ash out his cigar at the same time. There's a lot of stuff going on, but
a lot of moving parts here.
We're saying hammer it.
Yeah. Well, hey, we hammered the over and we're looking good. So we got one play in and it's looking good.
In. That one looks good. By the way, after the 3-run jack by Riley, that live total is now 22.5. So we got it at over 19.5.
Okay.
It's now at 22.5. I could use a little Matt Olson. I have him as my Dinger Tuesday guy. So I can't believe I'm going to be watching a game that may have 20, 25 runs in it and Olson doesn't go yard.
Dane, frankly, I'm pretty amazed at actually what you're able to do, to be honest.
What's that?
To pay attention to the scores and do the lines and
listen, we got a lot of stuff going on. That's why they call me the spitting statistician, man.
I can't multitask at all. I do one thing at a time, and usually I do one thing, I'm pretty good at it, but I can't do 2.
That's what my wife says too,
All right, so good start and good call by JW.
Yeah, great call, JW. I almost convinced you to wait until the end of the Atlanta at bat. That would not have been a good thing. Let's put it that way. But JW is in the building. Jonathan Nelson in the building. Ramon Scott in the building. Ramon Scott, speaking of which, just going to bet, will there be a run scored in the next inning? There's the props. You could also do that. He said that's at -120.
Ramon, who do we got coming up?
In the 5th.
Who do we have coming up, Ramon? Can you?
I got you here. I got that also. For the D-backs, it'll be 6, 7, 8.
Okay, but then
6, 7, 8, and the Braves are finally out of the inning. Olsen grounded out. He made the last out. So it'll be Murphy, Ozuna, and Harris. So we're looking at 6, 7, 8 on Arizona's side. And then we're looking at 5, 6, 7 for Atlanta. And we are in the bullpen. Both of the starters are long gone.
There's going to be more runs.
Interesting as well. Yeah, there's going to be more runs. There's going to be more runs. I think that's a safe bet as runs continue to pile up in Arizona.
Atlanta's offense they're good. They're dirty.
They are. Let me ask you something. Atlanta is also now the favorite to win the World Series. And they're at roughly between 3-1 and 4-1. I think that's the best number you're going to get moving forward if you don't already have the Bravos in some way, shape, or form. How confident are you? To me, they are the best team in baseball by far, Matt.
I agree. Yep.
In my opinion. And they have the experience and they have the starting pitching, and that's for me, when I'm looking at futures bets, Matt, I don't know about you or things like, playoff series. To me, what's most important is your number 2 and number 3 starting pitchers. Yeah. Right? Like, I've got to have a guy that when you say he's starting for me in game 2 or game 5, game 6, that I'm like, okay, I could ride with that. And they're going to run out Strider. They're going to run out these dudes that I'm okay with. So I actually, how do you feel about a number like plus 350 for Atlanta?
I mean, again, I try to get more. I mean,
I hear you.
Yeah, 350. I mean, it's not a bad number. I mean, if the Dodgers get healthy, they could give them a series. And you and I talk about the Padres. They're gonna hit a streak at some point.
Yeah.
Snell and Musgrove both are dealing right now.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, I mean, if they're a 70% favorite in each series, and they got to win what is it 4 series?
3.
To win it all?
Yeah, they'll win the DS, the NLDS, then the NLCS, then the World Series, because they wouldn't have to play a wild card round.
So 70 times 70 is 50%. I mean, that would be a 35% chance of winning it all, which is 3-1.
Around the number.
Yeah. So that's if they're a 70% favorite,
right,
going into each series.
I mean, I don't think it's a great number, to be quite honest, Matt, but I do think they're the class of the majors. Yeah. And to be quite honest, whether it's a good number, a winning bet is a winning bet, right? So for me, the question is, and I see Anthony in the chat right now saying it's a massive crapshoot. And don't get me wrong, go on back to Billy Beane, right, where he was just trying to get into the dance with the A's, and then knowing that the playoffs is a crapshoot. I hear you. I personally have them at a much larger number than plus 350. I've got them at something like 9-1.
Right.
I believe I got, because, when they do those, at least on FanDuel, they do like the little odds boost for like 50%.
Yeah, I love that.
And I bet that on the future. They were like plus 650 at the time. And I was like, F it. Let me change that to 975 and then I'll take it. So I did do that personally, but I do wonder, in essence, to what extent you think they are head and shoulders above the rest.
I think that number, I would think 450 personally. Okay. You know what I mean? But
that's fair.
But I agree. I think they're the best team.
Yeah.
Okay, the Marlins scored.
Ooh.
So anyone that hopped on that's looking good.
That looks good. The Marlins have scored. That was Bertie tripled. And then get this, our guy Arise gets the run in, but not with a hit and not with anything that'll affect his average. It was a sac fly. So he stays 1 for 2 on the day. I think he's hitting like 385 or something.
Yeah,
like
he's kind of fallen off, but man, that guy can hit. Yeah, he's hit at every level.
385 though.
I don't understand. I'm trying to think of who the Twins got for him. But I liked him since he was a rookie. I think he's just a stud.
Yeah. And, it's just also in this day and age, right, of the 3 true outcomes and the long swing and the launch angle, my man just chokes up and laces line drives everywhere. And it's kind of a beautiful thing to watch. And to be quite honest, I think we're going to start seeing more contact average hitters.
Oh, you've already noticed. I've already noticed a difference.
Yep.
People have cut down their swings a lot this year compared to last year.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think that's the case. You talked about the Padres as a team that could make a run. They are up. We haven't talked about them.
Yeah, I had them first 5 money line at -120. I put in earlier. That's already hit.
That first 5, the Blue Jays are coming up now in the bottom of the 5th. They're down by 5 runs. So
not
you need 3 more outs, but it's almost there. We don't want to count our chickens before they hatch. What I'll say about this game, though, freaking Alex Manoah, man. I was on the under on his strikeouts. It was posted at like 5.5, I believe, 4.5, 5.5. I don't know what's going on with this kid. Okay, dude was like 3rd in the Cy Young voting last year, striking out guys left and right. I personally don't like his attitude, the flexing he makes, the talking smack in the damn All-Star game and stuff. So it kind of serves him right. He goes all the way back down to rookie ball, and they bring him up. His ERA is still at 12, didn't strike out a batter, gave up 4 earned runs today. So, it's interesting to see whatever's going on with him. You are 3 outs away, Matt, for hitting that first 5, and Toronto will have 9-1-2 coming up against Joey Musgrove, who's pitching well.
I took basically every starter to go over their total bases in the Astros-Rockies game.
Ooh. Okay. Has that game gotten going yet?
Yeah, 3-0.
And it's not 3-0. It is now 3-2. Because Chris Bryant went yard here.
That's going to be.
Let me ask you this.
I can make a shit ton of money on that. I put $50 on like 18 guys.
So the live total, this game closed
with 12, I think.
Yep, and now it's already at 15.5. Okay, it's already at 15.5 because of this 3-2 start.
Both starters were sus big time, and they've given up 5 in the first
already.
Yeah.
So live total now is at 15.5. Over is juiced in that one. So if you want to do it now, because if at least tonight's history is anything, this game is going to be 4 more runs are going to score in the next like 3 minutes.
Yeah. What about the Cubs? What can we get the Cubs? Can we get the Cubs plus 2.5?
We can get the Cubs plus 2.5 at plus money.
Ooh, really?
Plus 2.5 plus 108 against a piss poor Washington Nationals team.
I like that. What do you think?
I do like that. I do like that as well. We can put that in.
You like that?
I do. It's like I'm Kirk Cousins. I like it so much.
You like that?
Yeah. Are you watching by any chance that on Netflix they've got the quarterback show on?
No, but my boy was telling me about it. I haven't seen it yet.
It's interesting. It's kind of just like a behind the scenes, hard knocksy kind of look, and they profile it's Mahomes, Cousins, and Mariota, which is interesting because they're such a wide range of how good they are. But before I keep talking about that, let's get it in. Oh, I just locked. Fucking A.
Hopefully it locks for our advantage.
Yeah, now the 2.5 is minus 113.
So we went from plus 108 to minus 13.
Yeah, now it's minus 102. It's moving right now. Nats have the leadoff man on, but I'm still down to do it if you are.
I like that plus money.
Yep. Well, no, it's minus. It's basically even money right now.
It's Tyone on the mound.
Yeah, but it's Corbin on the mound on the other side.
Yeah, I know. It's equally bad.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, go do it because I hate the Nats pen.
We're going to do that. So let me add that to our live lines. Let me add that to the banner. We'll hide that for a hot second. So far, officially, we've got Atlanta and Arizona over 19.5. That one looks good. And we're going with the Cubbies. We're going with the Cubs plus 2.5 runs.
3-3.
I got that finally at minus 104 is officially where I saw it at.
3-3 now in the Rockies-Astros game.
Yeah, I told you runs are being
Holy
scored.
Shit, I may have a good payday on that game.
Yeah, I mean, you got total bases for a lot of players, right? So we're just looking for everybody.
Yeah.
We're just looking for Arizona, Atlanta in Coors Field, basically, right?
Yeah, and what's going to change? I mean, they should keep scoring there.
Yeah, I would think so.
In Colorado.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, it's early, but there's no reason not to think so. And by the way, Washington is done with the inning. I think they maybe had a double play ball or something, because now the plus 2.5 that we saw at plus money, we ultimately got at minus 104. Now that's minus 132.
Okay.
So I'm talking about 25, 30 cents like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me do one thing before we miss the opportunity here, Matt. We are both on pregame plays on a game that's about to start at the bottom of the hour. Twins Mariners in Seattle. We both had plays on this one. We kind of did not necessarily coordinate, but it's ironic that we both had plays in this one. First one from you is going back to Brandon Wu. Wu, the guy that you were on his strikeout prop a few starts ago, and he hit, and you like it again, right, Matt?
Yep, let's do it. They raised it 1. I think it was 5.5 last time we took it. I think it's 6.5 now.
It is.
And I got it at, I think, 105, but I mean, I don't know what it is now.
I put it up there at minus 110. That's what it was at, kind of standard juice.
That's fine.
I saw it, but we like Wu to go over. I'm on that same game. I'm not on a prop. I'm on the total in the game. I'm on the game going over 7 on the number. And I'll tell you why. There were like 5 bullpen arms used by Seattle or Minnesota last night. They used up everybody. And these 2 pitchers, Ober and Wu, while I like Wu, don't get me wrong, and I'm with you on the strikeout prop, he doesn't go long. He's never gone over 6 innings. Ober's only gone over 6 innings, I think, once in the last 2 months. Mm-hmm. So to me, you've already got a bullpen that's stretched thin, and we're going to get into that again. And 7 on the number is the lowest number on the board today. So I think we're going over 7 as the total in that game. Matt's got Wu over the 6.5 strikeouts, which is a little bit higher than what we used to get him at 5.5, but we still think it's good to go.
Yeah, I mean, if I can get 5 innings out of them, I think I could get 7 strikeouts. If I can get 6 innings out of them, I should get 7 strikeouts.
Yep, I think so as well. How long he goes. So when that game is on, I'll keep you posted there, Matt, on kind of the number of pitches that Wu has, and if we think, he'll get extended. We got a perfect rotation in the chat room, and Maddie's saying, good to see you, Twatty. NFL right around the corner. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. I'm starting to look at some futures bets. I'm starting to look at win totals, divisions, things of that nature as well. I don't know if you have any.
I have one. Ooh. I mean, the Steelers, what was it? 8.5.
Okay.
I mean, was it 8.5?
You're a Pittsburgh guy, though, so I don't know where you're going to go on this.
No, they're going to go over. But I can't remember if I got it 8.5. I think I got 8.5. They're going to go over that. This team is really freaking good this year. Really good.
Let me ask you something.
And they have a pretty easy schedule.
Okay, that's a big piece of it. I still think, though, Matt, sorry to tell you, I think they're the 3rd best team in that division at best.
Get up.
What?
Gone.
Who?
2-run homer.
Who?
Did we cash? No, we're at 19.
Oh, the Braves. The Braves.
We're at 19.
That's Arcia goes yard, and Arcia goes yard. It's 11-8 now. So we're not there just yet, but we are pretty much home. And by the way, wasn't it J-Dub that was saying like a run will be scored in the next inning?
I think, it might have been or Ramon.
It was either J-Dub or Ramon that was saying a run will be scored in the next inning. If you did that, that is hitting. And so we are now at 11-8 Atlanta.
Nice.
Bottom of the 5th. We need one more run in 4+ innings of this game that has been absolutely ridiculous so far. JW deferring and saying, no, it was Ramon. Sharing the love. That's okay here.
J-Dub already has a good pick already in. So
Yeah. It's all love. It's all love. We're all doing all right here. So just so you know here, like I said, I got it back on the scroll here, over 19.5 in that game. And we like the Cubs, who, by the way, that run line of 2.5 is gone. It's now 1.5. It's now 1.5 because the leadoff man is on for the Cubs in the bottom of the 4th. So
what were you saying about, were you going to talk about that division?
Yeah. In that division, I'm actually high on the Ravens this year. I believe, it's not like an Odell thing, but I think that defense got better with Patrick Queen. I think a healthy J.K. Dobbins really matters. And I'm interested to see what that offense looks like in the Monken system. This is a team that went 9-8 last year, Matt, with their like third string quarterback playing the last month of the season.
Well, so now in fairness, that's the Steelers went 9-8 with Kenny Pickett at quarterback and TJ Watt missing half the year.
TJ Watt did miss half the year. So let me ask you this. If, I like Baltimore, you like Pittsburgh, is there opportunity there to bet the non-Cincinnati teams in that division? Like, are you fading Cincy, or are you just not telling me that you actually don't like the Ravens?
No. I love they got Zay Flowers too. So offensively they're going to be better. I think all three teams, are good teams. Hey, Cleveland isn't even bad. We don't know. Deshaun Watson comes back and plays like he can. You still got a great running. They could still be good. So
yeah, it's possible. They're gonna beat each other up though.
Yeah.
A bunch. By the way, Cubs 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
Let's go.
We got them. Remember, +2.5. Now the +1.5 is -128, and they've scored. The Cubs have scored here. I'll tell you how it happened. Sack fly. Ian Happ scores on a Yan Gomes sack fly. So now
that puts us in the lead.
We got 3-1. We're okay now with the +2.5. And Patrick Corbin is still in, 59 pitches in. And I ain't mad at Patrick Corbin being in. I'll tell you that right now.
Look, so good start so far. Hopefully these will cash for us.
Yeah, so that's looking good so far. The 11-8 game in Atlanta is looking good for us so far. So on our official plays, we're feeling good. We're feeling pretty good. And if you've been like kind of listening to us, there's a lot of other things that we've been talking about, throwing out. And if you were quick on the trigger, you may have some other action here on Live Lines that we like.
Marlins.
The Bengals are the best team in that division by far.
Well, no, wait. Okay.
I don't know.
But to say by far to me is like, okay. I wouldn't debate that they're. They may be the best team, but by far. Pittsburgh going 9-7, or what were they, 9-8 last year, and they got extremely better. Again, you're gonna have TJ Watt back. Sure. You got Patrick Peterson. You brought in Allen Robinson. You're gonna have your stud slot receiver who missed all last year is going to be back. Kenny Pickett's going to be a year older. George Pickens I wouldn't trade him for anybody. You got Pat Fryermuth. You still got Cam Hayward on the line. They bulked up their offensive line, which was terrible last year. Even if they have as many wins as they had last year, that ticket cashes. And they've gotten a lot better. And they've gotten a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm more on the Baltimore side. I think that offense is going to be light years better, and I'm very interested in what a healthy J.K. Dobbins can do. And Lamar, obviously the key is if Lamar plays 17 games. You tell me right now, Lamar Jackson plays 17 games, I show you a playoff team in the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with J.W. saying since he's the best team.
And listen,
my only beef is that I don't think they're by far the best.
We could see 3 teams in that division make the playoffs, right? Because in my opinion, only the division winner in the South makes the playoffs. Like whoever you like there in the South. Yeah. Then, I'm a Jets fan, but I happen to like other teams in the East. And then it comes down to like, is Russell Wilson and Sean Payton going to be any better in Denver? Can the Chargers get out of their own way and not Charger? Pretty much, right? Those are some of the other teams that are in there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we're here talking about baseball. And when we are talking about baseball, unfortunately, the Cubs are out of the inning. They hit into a double play ball, but they did get a run in the bottom of the 4th. So that game is now 3-1. And we've got that +2.5. So that's doing all right. I'll also let you know, not a huge difference. You had it pregame, the Marlins, but Cabrera has allowed a hit. So I'm allowed to say what was going on before. He was pitching a no-no. He's through, and this is now interesting to me. I want to see if we can make this a play here. It's 1-0 in this game. We're about to go into the top of the 6th. All right. It's a 1-0 game. This game was 8 on the numbers where it closed. I'm now looking at 5.5. And Cabrera and Monty are both pitching well, but they're not long for this game, Matt. So I wonder what we think about the live total, which is 5.5. Going over the 5.5 will get you plus 128. And I think we're going to see bullpens.
Really? You like the over there? I kind of like the under there.
Do you? Well, it's locked right now, but it wasn't like minus 160, that under.
Oh, well, obviously, yeah, you got to factor that in. I mean, I shouldn't even say I like the under, but I guess if I had to choose.
It's down to 4.5 now, and there's runners on first and second for Miami in the top of the sixth.
Yeah, so now we're at a number. I like 4.5, obviously. A shit ton better than 5.5.
Yeah, for sure. And to be honest, when I thought I was going to get it down to 4.5 before I started looking at it, right. Because it was 4.5 a few innings ago at zip, so I knew there was one run, but we had lost like 2 innings of play. So I thought it was going to be around the same. I was surprised that it was at 5.5.
Yeah.
It's 4.5. The over 4.5 is now minus 138. And Miami has 2 runners on, but 2 out in the top of the sixth. Because what do you think about these bullpens? What do you think about the Miami and the St. Louis bullpen? Remember,
let me check.
I think last time we were on.
I think the Miami pen's pretty good, if I'm not mistaken.
Wasn't it the last time we were on where like Jordan Hicks threw a ball into right field, a ground ball into right field?
Yeah.
And that's how we got extra runs.
Miami's middle of the road.
Corey's with us here. Marlins have first and second with 2 outs. I'm looking at that right now as well, Corey. It looks like Myers is up. Monty is 89 pitches in. This is going to be the end of Jordan Montgomery. Cabrera was pitching very, very well, but I think he's got one more inning left in him. I personally believe that there's runs going to be scored here. Right now, it's 4.5. Over is minus 125. But if they get out of this inning, that juice is going to change dramatically.
Hey, it's all you. If you like it, put it up. Because I don't dislike it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
Shit, there's been more runs in that Mets game, which I was saying.
We were talking about that Mets game also. That's now 8-4.
Fuck.
That's now 8-4. That's the one we were talking about. We saw it at maybe 12.5, and there's already 12 in this game. And by the way, Arizona has runners on second and third with 1 out here.
Let's get this guy in.
Yeah, Arizona's going to score another run. We'll get the over 9.5 for a cash.
Get a rocking chair winner here.
Yeah, that's locked right now. So something's going to happen here.
Oh, he almost could have scored on that. The right fielder's out there kicking the ball around. But
where, in Baltimore?
In Atlanta.
Oh. I got my man Corbin Carroll up as well, who I believe is going to be the NL Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he's a nice player.
He is a nice player. He's up with second and third and 1 out.
He should get it in.
He's going to get, if he brings it in, then that'll be an over cashing for us. And a run is in.
Yep, he infield single.
A run is
Cash
in. It is 11-9 Atlanta. We are still in the top of the sixth. So that one officially is a hit for us. So that's right out the gate. And I mean, this is how we do it here on Live Lines. Like I said, this is our 3rd edition. The first 2 were profitable. And by the way, if you were with us the last time we did it, we hit the Detroit Tigers like plus 11.5. The one I gave out was a Cubs Brewers live over of 6.5. And we went off the air, Matt, and I thought we were dead in the water.
Yeah.
When we went off the air, I was like, it's not going to happen. It was 3-1 going into the 9th. Milwaukee brings in stud closer Devin Williams, and the Cubs got 3 runs off Williams in the bottom of the 9th, most of which were with 2 out. They were down to their last strike, and they came back to win on one of the best closers in Major League Baseball. They win that game 4-3. Our live over cashes. So I think officially we went like 2-0. We're 3-0 on that one. In the first one, we threw out a lot more, and we were profitable there as well. So it pays to tune in to Live Lines to be sure. So far tonight, we are on over 19.5 in a game where there has been 20 runs scored. The live total is now 24.5. And then the other one, where the Cubs we're taking plus 2.5 runs. They are now currently down by 2 against the Washington Nationals and their blunt guts trash bullpen.
Yep.
So we feel decent about that one as well.
And Dane, speaking of trash bullpens, the Padres bullpen has been trash, and they're up 6-1, and we're going to have the underbelly, as you like to call it.
Yes, I do. So talk to me here, because first of all, you mentioned Joey Musgrove earlier in the show. He is still out there, but he is 96 pitches in the bottom of the 6th here. So let me set the stage for you here, Matt. We got 6-1. We're going into the bottom of the 6th. Musgrove is at the end of his rope, right?
Yep.
They're giving you 4.5. Toronto plus 4.5 at plus money.
No. Really?
Yeah, I'm getting 4.5. Plus 104 now.
Yeah, I was going to say I won 5.5 at minus 115.
Yeah, they're not going to give you that, because maybe they assume, like you do, that Toronto can score some runs on San Diego Pen.
100%.
You know what I mean? They're not completely stupid, right? They keep on building buildings in the desert for a reason, Matt.
I want to keep my eye on that, although it's getting early. It's getting late early.
It's bottom of the 6th there. Musgrove now at 98 pitches, so this will be it for him. The question is, do you think they can score a couple runs off the Padres pen with 3 at-bats?
Yeah.
And you do.
But I don't know that they'll particularly take the lead, because, I mean, the Padres still are going to. Yeah, so I mean, what's the total in the game? 9, 10? 10?
9.5. 9.5 juice to the over. Minus 132.
That's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
3 runs? 3 runs in 3 innings?
I personally am not on that.
Okay.
Personally.
Fair enough.
You do your thing, though.
Well, I like when we're in unison more than, separate.
Fair. I do. When we've been in lockstep, it's definitely cashed more often than not. For me, the Padres pen, and I guess the thing is, it's like we're not going to see a guy like Hader in this situation. It's not a close game, so the good old rough underbelly comes into play. But I kind of think this is a sleepy game, in my opinion. Oh, Cardinals just tied it.
Yeah, I have Miami -1, and
you had Miami -1. Cardinals tied it. I was looking to remember at the over 4.5.
But in fairness, I had Miami -1 at plus 180. So I'm I'm still not hating my position.
I'm not hating that position either. I'm just reminding people that my over 4.5 looks okay now, because we're at 1-1, 2-2. We're home free.
Yeah, good point. Another home run. There's 23 runs.
The Arizona Diamondbacks take the lead 12-11 in that game now. Who was that? Walker went yard.
Was it Christian Walker?
It was Christian Walker. He went yard. Cal and Marte score in front of him. And listen, Ramon, who's out there being like, I'm going to bet yes, there's a run every
inning
forward. So far, that approach is 2-0.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll say that. I wonder, Ramon, if you're still with us, now that you've done it successfully, are you going to continue to do it, or are you going to take your 2-0 and bail out of that market? I'd love to hear, Ramon, what you think. You've got that profit there, or are you going to keep doing it for the next few innings? The live total in this game is now 26.5.
Dane, I'll tell you what, we picked on the underbelly in this game, big time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Ramon says, yeah, we're doing it. He's going to keep on doing it, because at this point, right, like, how many times are you possibly going to lose it, right? You're already 2-0.
Although now, sorry, go ahead, Dane.
No, go ahead.
No, now that the game's close, you may actually get some hold guys and some save guys.
Right.
The 8th and 9th. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look like it matters, to be quite honest. It doesn't look like it matters. Hey, Brian Smith, what's going on? He's in the chat.
Brian.
Let me ask you this. He's asking for pregame on Yankees Angels.
I didn't have anything in that game.
Neither did I. Herman threw that perfect game, but I think that was a misnomer, okay? He's still pitching to like a 4.4 ERA.
Yeah.
Jonathan Nelson goes, I already laddered both team totals in the Diamondbacks Braves game. That probably looks good right now as well.
I do want to talk about this Atlanta or this Rays Rangers game.
Okay.
I mean, you got to think we're going to get some runs here, right? I mean, there's one run. We have two really good offenses.
Yes. You know, I told you in general, I love the games that are scoreless. I said the same thing with Miami St. Louis. If I can get a live total at 4.5, especially before we get into kind of the sixth inning, which is when, as we always say, third time through the order, getting into the bullpen, I think that's an opportunity. However, the only issue for me here, Matt, is the over is minus 158 right now. And that's a little bit too much juice than I would generally like to play.
Yeah, but can't we get creative with like not team runs, not in the middle of a game?
I think they're both at probably like 2.5.
Right. I'm going to switch this here.
Brian Smith talk. Oh, go ahead.
No. We can come back to that one. I'm kind of surveying.
We'll keep an eye on that, but it's not a play on the scroll, but as you can hear us talking, it's something we want to keep an eye on because we're intrigued by a live over. Okay. Yeah. The context is there for the live over. We haven't just hit it yet. Going back to Yankees Angels though, Matt, total is 9 on the number. And Brian's making some good points talking about how many runners were stranded in last night's game. And that the Yanks struck out 17 times, he says. That's
amazing.
Incredible? Yeah. There was a lot of runners left on base. And, you kind of think law of averages, someone's going to get a knock with runners in scoring position who's not named Shohei at some point, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna look at that game. For whatever reason, I didn't put it on my card. I'm going to look at it real quick. Okay. But the Yankees offense, I mean, without Judge, what the hell?
It's been piss poor.
It
really has. It really has. I mean, looking at tonight's Yankees lineup. Okay,
that's what I'm pulling up right now.
The best batting average in the Yankees lineup tonight is Gleyber Torres is 263.
What's happened to DJ LeMahieu? I mean, you went from a good hitter to
that's a great question. Dude won a batting title, for goodness sakes. Dude hit 320, albeit with Colorado, but this guy was like a professional hitter, the term, right? And then all of a sudden, absolute garbage. And he's a guy that I even liked his first couple of years with the Yankees, clutch home runs against the Astros in the playoffs. And, I don't know. He's fallen off a cliff. Same with
yeah, right. But you look at the Angels lineup tonight, and that's not like they're running out murderer's row here.
That's fair. Jesus. That's fair. But Ohtani could run into one and win this game by himself.
Yeah.
Brian Smith saying yesterday, Angels starter strikeout prop is 5.5. He wound up with 11. Listen, this Yankees lineup strikes out a ton. I'm in New York, and last Yankees game I went to in person. That's what I just did. I just bet live strikeouts. Like next at bat, strikeout. Next at bat, strikeout. I got my stepfather with me, and he's like, "What? You cheering against the Yankees?" I'm like, "No, I'm just cheering for them to strike out. It's gonna happen." And I've done it. Last year I did it with Joey Gallo every at bat, and there were times where he went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. So they are a strikeout. They are a 3 true outcome team to be sure, and that's the way it is these days. Brian, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad on the strikeout props again because it is such a strikeout heavy lineup. The other piece, though, it seems like when you're talking about the runners left in scoring position, you're talking about maybe potentially the over in the game. And I don't know personally if I can do that because for me, what I've seen, the greater thing is that this Yankees offense is trash without Judge. So I don't know. I don't know that I would back the Yankees Angels total. Then you're saying you can't believe Boone is still managing. Did you also see in last night's game, Yankees game by any chance, Matt? He decides to intentionally walk Ohtani.
Okay.
With men on, with 2 men on and 1 out, like in the 5th inning.
Wow. Then was it second and third?
I think it was runners on the corners. And if I'm wrong in the chat, let me know. But the key
second and third, I could see walking them.
One base is open anyway. But here's the key part, okay? He does that in the 5th inning. Then Ohtani gets up again in the 8th inning with a man on base, decides to pitch to him, and Ohtani hits the game-winning homer.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, reasonable people can disagree, but to me, it's like if you hit on 16. If you're going to do it all the time. You know what I mean? So if you're going to walk the guy in that spot, then do it the next time in the 7th or 8th inning in a more clutch spot deeper in the game. There it is. Brian Smith says, yeah, he pitched to him in the 7th and he hit a 2-run bomb. It was very frustrating to me. If you're going to do it, then do it. Yo, we got runs everywhere tonight, man.
I know we missed that Mets White Sox.
Detroit, Kansas City, 7-5 Royals in the 5th inning. That game with a live total of 15.5. Giants, Reds in the 3rd inning. It's 4-4. That game with a total of 15.5. You've already talked about Colorado. It's 3-3 in Colorado. That game with a live total of 13.5. Don't get me started on, obviously, Braves and D-backs, which is still 12-11. What is it, Ramon? You may not get no, you already got the run in the top. You already got the run in the top of the 6th. So you're already 2-0 on that bet. 9-4, that Mets game. Runs continuing to be scored in that Mets game. What else have we been tinkering with?
I'm still looking at this Braves game. Not in runs. I'm going to take our winnings there. But Braves money line.
Don't you already have Braves minus 1.5?
No. You mean, did I bet it today?
Yeah. No, when we talked about it live, remember? I was saying, what about the money line? And then you said you liked the minus 1.5.
Yeah, but I didn't bet it.
Oh, okay. Oh, Mets just scored some more.
Shit.
Mets just scored some more. That game now 11-4 Metropolitans. So that one went, that live total when we started talking about it, Matt, was at, I believe, 12.5. So that one has gone over. That live total is now 16.5. Do you ever think, Matt, that like it's an overnight just in the league? Or are they all kind of independent? There it is. Grand Salami today was 142.5, and there's already 103 runs tonight. And some of these late games have not even gotten started. Like Yanks Angels hasn't gotten started. Twins Mariners hasn't even gotten started. Bo Sox Oakland hasn't even gotten started. So Ramon, that looks good, by the way.
I mean, obviously weather.
Weather. I mean, there's heat waves. There's a heat wave all over the damn country.
Yeah, I mean that plays a part, but yeah, I think each individual day pretty much is its own. Yeah, but weather definitely plays. But aren't we 1-0 in Texas?
We are. That's true. We are 1-0 in Texas. That live total is still at 4.5. You were leaning over, but we didn't put it in.
Yeah, I mean. 4.5. I mean, we still got half the damn game.
Yes. And again, I'll make the point that I always make, and it's the same thing in Miami, St. Louis now. Everybody who's in our chat are not, novice sports investors, and that's why we love the chat. But I love the totals at the even numbers, Matt. I tell you that all the time. I love the live totals at 4.5 right now because of, the idea of a tie game gets you home. So what that means here in Miami, St. Louis, we're staring at 4.5. If we get to a 2-2 tie, we're home free. Tampa, Texas, we're looking at 1-0 Rangers. That game in the bottom of the 5th, live total of 4.5 as well. Same logic. 2-2 would get us home. Is right. Oh, and by the way, your Padres bullpen is holding up. It's still 6-1, but they're still only giving us 4.5 for the Blue Jays, but plus money now. Plus money. Blue Jays starting to hit in the bottom of the 7th. They're down by 5. You can get them plus 4.5, plus 120.
One plus 5.5.
I know you do. I just can't give it to you. That's all.
I know you can't.
I can give it to you on an alternate, but that'll be minus 160 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do like the Blue Jays here.
To get back with it, to get a run?
Yeah, because you know what? Toronto, I think, is a top 5 bullpen too. So what?
Austin Riley has homered again, and
He's
the
a
Atlanta Braves take a 13-12 lead in Atlanta.
There was that money line.
The only problem from Ramon is that that's still the bottom of the 6th. Now you need to see that in the bottom of the 7th. You know, you don't. Do we keep? I mean, interesting comment out of Jonathan Nelson. Like, how many times do we hit the over in this one?
But you know, as a gambler, well, I guess it'd be anti-gambling, but we've got our money from that game, so it's hard to give it back is the problem. But you know,
but we are only in the bottom of the 6th. Braves to score in the 6th inning. That hits. You know, this idea of pretty much rolling it over and every inning will it hit. I asked the same question, right? I said, if you were going to do that, you're 2-0 already. Do you continue to do that? You were saying the same thing, Matt. We've already hit this over. This over is long past. The live total of this game looks like a freaking football score. It's 27.5 right now. Okay. It looks like Cardinals Falcons is just having a slow first half, if you want to know the truth. So it's 13-12 now. And out of all this, I had Matt Olson to go yard, and he's like the only person who hasn't done anything. Matt Olson 0 for 2. Everybody else in the box score going absolutely crazy, including Austin Riley, who is 3 for 4 with 7 RBIs on the night.
We need the Cubs to get out of this inning right here.
I've got men on first and second with 2 outs.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a game I'm watching.
Yeah, men on first and second, 2 outs. Fulmer on the mound. You know, he was a highly touted youngster.
Fulmer,
with the Mets and then with Detroit. And he never really put it together in the way that many predicted he would.
One we haven't talked about is Reds Giants.
Okay. Another game where runs are being scored in the Great American Small Park. 5-4 Cincinnati, live total of 15.5. That game's only in the bottom of the 3rd.
These are 2 good pens, though. Both pens are under 4.
Hey, Cubs got out of that inning, by the way. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still 3-1 Washington.
Well, let's add on. Let's get another couple rounds.
I want to get another run here. We got the top of the Cubs lineup coming up here. Nico Horner, Suzuki, and then Ian Happ.
Shit. What do we got? We got 2 plays on the board here, right?
We do. We have 2 plays officially on the board. We've already hit in Atlanta, Arizona. The world has hit on the overs. We're hitting on runs being scored in the next inning. You know, hop on the gravy train in Hotlanta. The other one that we officially have is the Cubs plus 2.5. They are down by 2 right now, going into the bottom of the 6th. So if we want to get some more on the board, and by the way, a game that is starting right now, our other plays are Wu over 6.5 strikeouts in the Seattle, Minnesota game, and over in that game, over 7. And to be quite honest, I love my over based on what's happening in Major League Baseball tonight. So over 7, I'm on in that game. Matt's on over Brandon Wu, 6.5 strikeouts. Jonathan is asking about that does look interesting. Team total over 7.5 for the Astros in Colorado.
Yeah, that's what I was asking about earlier. I don't know if my book offers team total. Well, I'm sure some book does. Team total in mid-game.
Live?
Yeah. Because that's what I was looking at in that game. Even Colorado, team total over.
I think most of the major books do, in fact.
So he's saying 7.5.
Yeah, I got team totals. They're locked right now, but I've got team totals live.
Yeah, my DraftKings is. I got it. It's
on FanDuel. It's locked right now, but it is something that's offered. Oh no, here it is. I'm seeing the Astros live team total at 8.5. Jonathan says he's got it at 7.5. but that could also be because Houston has got a little something cooking in the top of the fourth. They got runners on first and second with nobody out, so that's probably why.
Can you get the Rockies at 6.5?
I got the Rockies at 6 on the number.
That's not bad. They're going to get the 9 at bats, probably.
You would think so. I mean, if they, locked right now. But when I saw Houston at 8.5, Colorado was 6 on the number.
I mean, you're talking about one team at 8.5, one team at 6. I mean, I might like that 6 better. Although, I mean, the Astros have 2 runners on and no outs.
They do,
which is obviously changes the game a little bit.
It does, but to be honest, it could change it in our favor. Remember, we talk about, the rough underbelly. If Houston, gets a breathing margin here, let's say Houston goes up, 8-3, then all of a sudden we're gonna get the lower end of that of the Houston bullpen.
What's the game total?
Right now it's locked for me. I'll let you know when it pops back up. But right now that is locked.
Because if we're going to get the game total over.
I got 14.5. 14.5. And that's where they're giving it to you. They're giving you 8.5 Houston. They're giving you 6 on the number Colorado. 14.5, pretty much standard juice both ways.
Yeah. I was hoping for 13.5, but
more runs in Kansas City. That's now 7-6 Kansas City in the top of the 6th. This game, by the way, that you were talking about with Texas, that one is now that 4.5 total is now pretty much even juice both ways.
Still 4.5, huh?
It is still 4.5, whereas we're at 5.5 in Miami, St. Louis, because Miami has just scored again. Your -1 looks good. Marlins take a 2-1 lead. They score in the top of the 7th. I'll let you know how it was. Jorge Soler with an RBI there. Arise did not get a hit. He's now only 1 for 3 in this game. Oh, my goodness. Down to a paltry 378.
I want to get in this Tampa Rangers game. I just don't. I want to give the boys some plays here, but I don't want to reach, No,
I think, you got to remain disciplined. Don't listen. 2-0 is 2-0 if that's what we get. You can't be mad making a profit. That's what I would say. If it's going to be anything, for me, it's the over 4.5.
I mean, I kind of agree with that. I mean, these are 2 really good offenses. And we got
the idea of the tie game tie 2-2 would get us home.
This fucking ESPN.
Ray's got a little something cooking in the top of the 6th. There are 2 outs, but there's 2 runners on. And judging off what we've seen, we've literally been talking about stuff, and then a 3-run bomb happens.
Three times it's happened.
So, hey, it's almost like if you like it, bet it now before I could even, type it into the scroll.
Astros probably may pick up a run here.
Runners on the corners, 1 out in the top of the 4th there.
Yeah. What did we like in this Giants-Reds game?
For me, it's another over.
It's at 9. What can we get?
It's at 9. I see it at 8. I see it 4-4.
A home run, Cubs. Let's go.
Hey! It's 3-2 now in Wrigley Field. Who was that? Oh, Suzuki went yard. Suzuki goes yard. That's 3-2 Cubs. Remember, we're holding +2.5, so that looks good. We're clearly up and over in the Arizona-Atlanta game. I will say this, though. There have been no runs in the 7th inning just yet. There's only been 1 out. But there have been no runs in the 7th inning. And listen, you're going to like this. You're going to like this, Matty. Maybe it's time to give something else out. The Rays did not score. We go to the bottom of the 6th in Texas. Still 1-0. The live total has fallen to 3.5.
Dude, we got to take that.
I think
so. What's the juice?
The over is juice. It's -130.
Hold on. My fucking ESPN.
Hey, it takes two to make it out of sight.
What is that? The most annoying thing in the world? You know what I'm talking about on ESPN?
Yeah, like the banners, they automatically play that little video window. Yeah, I hate that shit.
Just mute fucking everything.
Brian's with us. He says the Rays pen is suspect as fuck.
Shit.
So, what do you think? Over the 3.5, Texas, Tampa Bay? I'm willing to do it if you are.
Yeah, but let me just real quick before I don't want to lose it, but is there a better angle with a team total or something?
Team totals. Let me find out what we got here. We're in the changeover of the inning, so we should have
like Rays 2 or Rangers.
So I got Rangers 2.5. I got Tampa at 1.
1
on the number.
With the 6, oh no, it's 7, 8, 9. I mean, I don't think we lose that at 1.
I don't think so either.
We win it.
I don't think so either. But I think I like the 3.5 in the game better.
Yeah, because one team could just have a good inning.
It can happen either way.
Right.
So personally,
yeah,
I like
I'm good.
3.5 better.
I'm good.
Even though it's minus 130, you're okay?
Although the Rangers are leading in this game. So who knows?
We might not get their at-bats. You're going to get 3 Tampa at-bats. Can Tampa score the run? You want to just go Rays team total at 1?
Again, what's it worth? A half a run an inning, right? That's 1.5.
You're going to get.
Oh my God.
You're going to get 3 more Tampa at-bats. And here's what I'll tell you.
Oh my God.
Over on the game, I'm talking about the juice at minus 130. This Tampa Bay over 1 is basically even money.
Let's take that because, I mean, shit, they're going to get 1. I mean, although Texas Penn, fuck, I don't know. Let's take it. We'll do either one. I'm good with either one. That's what I'm just struggling on with which
Fair
one.
enough. When in doubt, I'll do the one that is less juicy. So that's the team total. I'll do the minus 105 instead of minus 132. How do you feel?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So officially what we're doing here is Tampa over 1 at minus 105. Let me put that in. Our little ticker here.
I don't think we reached for that one.
Yeah. And that is at minus 105. Lock it in. All right. The other good news is that the Cubs are continuing here. So they got the home run to make it 3-2. They still in this inning have a man on second and only 1 out with Clay Bellinger up. So, they can give us a little bit of cushion in that one.
The Marlins have the bases loaded?
Who?
Marlins bases loaded? No, Cardinals fucking bases loaded, huh? Shit.
You must be ahead of me. You must be ahead of me. I've got a 2-1 Marlins. I've got just a man on first in the bottom.
Yeah, you're right. I looked at it wrong.
Okay.
By
the way, no runs for the D-backs in the top of the 7th. Atlanta maintaining their 13-12 lead. So we'll see if you've been betting every inning, which you can't really be mad at. But I like Matt's point here. We're already up big in this game. So the question is how far do you push your luck? How many times do you hit the over? How many times do you bet? Yes, there'll be a run in the inning. So we'll see. We'll see what Atlanta does here in the bottom of the 7th. In that Cubs game, I think we got a little something here as well.
Good. Yeah, it's 1 out, guy on second, Bellinger up is what I got.
Bellinger up. It's locked right now as though something's about to happen.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So we'll see. Base hit would tie us up here, making our Cubs play look even better.
Although we would love for it to end right now, 3-2.
Yeah. If there's a torrential downpour in Chicago, I wouldn't be mad at that either. But we'll see what happens. We'll keep you locked and loaded on that. Game's just getting started.
Infield single scored 3-3.
Oh, there we go. So we are tied in Wrigley, which is something that we like. By the way, your boy Woo is on the hill. That game has just gotten going. Minnesota, Seattle just got going. Oakland, Boston just got going. Yankees are out 1-2-3, I do believe, in the top of the first. No.
By the way, on that Woo play, the Twins strike out the most in Major League Baseball.
Yes, they do. They are a strikeout heavy lineup. We'll see what's going on. Woo, Correa got on to lead it off, so we'll see. We'll keep an eye on Woo. I need runs to be scored. Matt needs strikeouts out of Woo. We are tied at Wrigley, which is a beautiful thing. That one looks good. 3-3 in the bottom of the sixth.
I'm trying to find some value on this Giants Reds, but they both have good pens, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, it's hot. They're in the home run stadium.
That's a home run ballpark, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
That's why I call it the Great American Small Park.
Yeah.
And here's what I'll also tell you. They're into the pens already. DeSclafani only went 2 innings for the Giants. He's already out. They bring in Sean Manaea, though. He's another guy who fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
And Weaver got the start for Cincinnati. He's gone. Young is in for him. So they're already into the bullpen. So whether you like them or not, whether you think they're good bullpens or not, both bullpens are going to have to go 7 innings in this one. It's 5-4 Cincinnati right now. Live total for the Reds is locked right now. But in other news that you may not like, but I like, I'm sorry to tell you, Matt, the Cardinals have tied it up at 2.
That's okay. Again, that was plus 180, but
yep.
But hey, should we pick on our favorite team to pick on?
The Detroit Tigers?
No, worse than that. The Royals.
Oh.
They're holding the lead not late, but
they are holding a 1-run lead right now, 7-6. We'll talk about that in 1 second. I just want to make the point that with the Cardinals tying it at 2, the over 4.5 is home free. Okay, and that's another one that we had a lean on during this game. Okay, when that came up, I was like, I like the over 4.5. We didn't put it in, but again, I can't manage 18 screens at a time. Sometimes you're just going to have to go with what we say, even if we don't get it in the scroll. I definitely told you guys I like the over 4.5. That game is now tied 2-2 in the bottom of the 7th. We will get to at least 5 runs in that game. So if you listened and tailed that one, that's another cash here. The Cubs are still going in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, they brought in some pen. Well, looks like the Rangers first and second. No,
but we're on Tampa, right? We're on Tampa to score.
That was a 50-50 one there.
It was. And we were also debating the game total of 3.5. And if Texas, some people may have gone that way. If Texas piles on here, it could still get the over 3.5 in that fashion. But we'll see if Tampa, all we need is Tampa to score a run. They only have 2 hits so far. Nate Eovaldi, and this is part of why I like this. You say Texas has a good pen, but this has been Eovaldi, who's a stud. Their ace, their de facto ace, and an all-star. Yeah. He's been pitching very well, limiting Tampa to 2 hits, but he's at 93 pitches. So I don't know if he comes out even for the top of the 7th whenever we get there. And that's why I like talking about these games, Matt, when we're in the 5th and 6th inning, because regardless of how the starter's going, we're gonna get these bullpen arms pretty soon.
So here's another. Do we just take? I was gonna say, can we take the Cubs money line, but we're gonna get fucked on it. -2 something 50.
It's -260. That one's -260. Okay. No, I don't want to do that because that's another one where, like, you just brought up the point, right? Like, if we think we're profitable, if we think we have that winning bet, and we've already got Cubs plus 2.5, why get cute? That would be my opinion on that one.
Yeah. No, I got you.
All right, cool.
100%.
Anthony L. with the Cubs got a chance to break this game open. JW, going back to that San Francisco-Cincinnati game, says Manaea is a bet against, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about that.
No.
I also, like I said, he fell off hard. Just the way I'm doing it maybe is with the over, because right now with Manaea in, Reds are -160 on the money line.
Oh my God.
It would be more JW that runs get scored in Cincinnati and the live total at 14.5. What are you looking at there, Matt? What do we got?
Wouldn't believe it. 1 out, pop out to Dickerson.
Yeah.
Corey Dickerson. He just drops it. But he picks it up and throws the guy out at third because it was first and second.
Oh, okay. So then it's still first and second with one out now?
No, the guy at second got forced out at third. So maybe it's – yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay. Cubs now with 2 outs, but men on first and second. Base hit would break it open a little bit for them, give them the lead. Mikey Talkman was pinch hitter there, grounded out, fielder's choice.
That's what I was just
there, so we feel decent about that. Hey, Royals tacked on, so maybe good thing we didn't bet against their bullpen because now they have a 3-run lead, 9-6 in the 7th.
Right, but what can we get the Tigers at? 2.5?
We can get the Tigers at 2.5 and at plus money on that 2.5. You know what? I like this Cincinnati Giants over even more, thanks to Corey H. Corey H says, Matt, let me see what you think about this, that the Giants-Reds game, they finished an earlier suspended game, a game that was suspended earlier today, and they used some of their arms already. They used some of their arms already to do that in the resumption of that game. You know?
And I don't think that game went far. Like, I think it went like 4 innings or
They
3.
say here Diaz, Rogers already went today.
Oh, and Duvall went. I didn't know that. Duvall, now that's a filthy motherfucker.
So that's even more. That's even
I didn't
more
know that.
rationale for this live over 14.5 in Cincinnati with it right now at plus 105.
Yeah, I've been trying to get on the over in that. I just can't.
9 runs in, top of the 5th, 14.5 is the live total. I'm not mad at that. Runs are being scored in these ballparks tonight. Texas did score, by the way, making it 2-0. And they still have runners on second and third.
Well, hope they go up 13-0 and they bring in some scrub.
Right, some scrub. And we could even, Ramon's telling us about your boy Wu, who unfortunately has given up a run, but he has struck a batter out. So basically what you're looking for, Matt, right, is a strikeout per inning, kind of. Well, and a little more.
I feel real good if he goes 6. If he goes
6, he should get the 7 strikeouts. The only problem is if Minnesota gets to him at all, right? Because here's the problem. He's already thrown 22 pitches in the first.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's the problem here. And he's only, 2/3 of an inning, 22 pitches. That's the problem, in my opinion. And that inning is still going on. We've got a runner on second, 2 outs. So we'll see if Wu can get out of it, hopefully via strikeout. We got 2 strikes on the batter right now.
If I can get 2 in the first,
It's early. Definitely early in that game, to be sure. Cubs are out of the inning. We're tied at 3 after 6 in Wrigley. The Angels have taken a 2-0 lead on the Yankees. Someone went yard, but it was not Shohei Ohtani. So it's 2-0 Angels there. What about – it's my Yankee fandom being like, what about Yankees on the money line to come back here plus 186? But I've been talking about how shitty that offense is, so maybe that's not the move. I'm intrigued by this over in Cincinnati. I really am. Yeah. I'm intrigued by the over in Cincinnati. We also got, like you said, some of the bullpen was used in the resumption of the earlier game. It's 5-4 already in that one, and 14.5 is one of those even number totals. So the way I look at it, 7-7 gets us home, and we're at 5-4 in the top of the 5th.
I mean, you got to think we'll get a run an inning the rest of the way.
Yeah.
But that doesn't get us there, right? 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, it does.
That'd be 13, right?
Oh.
No, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, that'd be 14.
And it's at 14.5 plus money to the over. I kind of like it, but I'll let you decide it.
I just can't. I'm so cheap with what's the juice on it?
Our over is plus 104.
Okay.
It's plus money. It's plus money. And we got a runner on, 2 outs, runner on in the top of the 5th, plus 106 now.
I would feel better if the Reds weren't winning, obviously, but
Right, because then we get that bottom of the 9th. Unfortunately, the 7th has gone by in Atlanta without any runs being scored. We go to the top of the 8th. It is still 13-12 Atlanta.
20 runs now in the Mets game.
That was one that we were definitely telling people. That one is 11-9. I got to tell you, it's 11-9. They're giving you the Chi Sox plus 2.5.
With the Mets winning?
Yes.
Dude, we should probably snap bet that.
It's 11-9 New York. Chicago plus the 2.5 is minus 108.
Mets just got a guy on. That's probably why.
They got the leadoff man on. Yes.
2.5, though. We should probably take that.
I'm kind of with you. Let me see where the White Sox are in their order.
And see where the Mets are, because they're up.
Mets have their 9th hitter up right now. So it was Kana who got on with a single. Their DH is up, the 9th place in the order. Chicago has 2, 3, and 4 coming up in their top of the 8th.
Dude, I think we should take that.
All right, let's do it. So
take 2.5. We'll take and hope for no more runs, right?
Yeah. So what we're talking about here is taking the Chi Sox plus 2.5 live. I'm going to add that to our scroll. I saw it at minus 120, I do believe.
Okay, wouldn't want to go any more than that, but we'll take that.
All right, so let me put it on. Boom. All right, so San Diego tacked on a run, by the way, as well. 7-1 Fathers, that game in the top of the 9th. Dodgers all over the Baltimore Orioles. I know someone in the chat was saying that they got exposed by the Dodgers. Brian Smith is saying that they got exposed by the Dodgers. I don't know if I buy that. I don't know if this is just like one game where they're dominating. I don't know if all of a sudden we could say the Orioles are frauds. By the way, we are in the top of the 7th for Tampa. We need Tampa to score a run. We need Tampa to score a run here. They're up in the top of the 7th. Where are we in the Rays order is what I would like to find out. 7, 8, 9 for Tampa, but then that means in the 8th we'll turn it around.
Looks like Woo's going to go 3 innings. Way he's pitching.
Woo has thrown 30 pitches to get out, but he did strike out the last out. So he's got 2 strikeouts. But the problem is with 30 pitches in, we're talking 5 or 6 innings. We're talking 5 innings here.
Yeah, he's going to have to do some work.
We're talking 5 innings. The Twins got the 2 in the top of the 1st. Remember, I told you guys that I liked the over in that game, pregame. I liked over 7. Live total is now 8.5 in that one.
No chance we can get the Tigers plus 3.5, huh?
2.5. You can get them 2.5, but plus 162.
Wow. That should change pretty soon then. To 3.5.
They're giving you the plus money for it. They're giving you pretty decent plus money, plus 162 for the 2.5.
It's really good plus money.
Yeah, that is pretty good plus money.
But I'd rather have the 3.5 at minus 110, to be honest.
Sure. That makes sense. Give me the extra run. Give me the extra points. I'll always take points over juice, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Shit, really slowed down in the Astros Rockies.
In Colorado, I was just going to say that it is still 4-3. That game now in the top of the 5th. Oh, goodness. We get a run. We get a run in the top of the 8th. The Arizona Diamondbacks have tied it up at 13. So we're 13-13 right now in Atlanta. That was a rally. Ultimately, Walker scored. Walker with a home run and a run in addition to that, interestingly enough,
run in the Giants game.
I like this Chicago plus 2.5. They're down by 2. We're getting them plus 2.5.
Yeah.
And the Mets, what I like about this also is we may not have to deal with the bottom of the ninth.
Well, that was part of definitely. That was part of the decision.
So the Mets are only going to get 6 more outs here in all likelihood.
Right. I mean, we're 6 outs away from cashing that.
Away.
And that's assuming that the Sox don't score.
Chicago doesn't score. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So we like that. So to be honest, let's look at our scroll here. Let's look at our scroll. Let me put that back up here. Over the 19.5 in Atlanta, Arizona, that looks good. Cubbies plus 2.5. Last check, that game was tied. Oh, the Cubs just took the lead.
Let's go.
Cubs just took the lead in that one.
It must have been a home run by Wisdom.
Yeah, Wisdom went yard.
Holy
Wisdom went
shit.
yard in that one to make the Cubs up 4-3. We now have them plus 2.5 with a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 7th. The Cubs, all we got to do is get 6 outs for the Cubbies, and that one is home.
Every week I say this. I think the Cubs offense is like sneaky good.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not mad at that. Remember, they saved my bacon last time off Devin Williams, too. The Rays team total is something that we're going to have to sweat out. We're getting we have 8 more outs to go. They do have a runner on first and 1 out there. And then the White Sox. The White Sox are where we're looking. In other things we've been talking about but didn't really get, we were on the over in Citi Field. We were talking about that a ton of times. That one has come in. I was talking about over 4.5 in Miami, St. Louis. That one is going to hit as well.
Yeah, good call on that one. Yeah.
We're tied now in the Great American Small Park, 5-5.
We're going to find a way to get on that game here.
Well, I wanted to get on it when it was over 14.5. Make a mental note because now we got 10 runs. Oh, now we got 12 runs in that game. The Giants have just hit a 2-run jack, it looks like.
Yeah, that's one that I've been looking at for the half hour.
It wasn't a home run. It was just Stremski double. So that one is now 7-5 Giants. Tampa scored.
Let's go. So we at least got a push.
Bang. Right? Double in the gap. It is still 2-1 Texas, but that's not a loss. Remember, it was 1 on the number, and they've scored.
And we got a guy on second, right?
On second and 1 out.
Okay.
All right. So technically at this point, let's refresh here. The official plays over in Atlanta has already hit. Cubs, we got them plus 2.5. They're up by 1. Tampa team total over 1. They're at 1. So that is at worst. That is a draw. We get our money back, right? And then there's the Chi Sox. Then there's the Chi Sox where what we got to do is make sure the Mets don't score here, and they've got a runner on second with 1 out. That's the pain point right now for us.
Even if they score, I mean, we're not done.
Sure. We got 2 at bats. We got 2 at bats still, absolutely. But I'm saying if we get out of this,
we're looking good.
Really, the Mets only have 3 outs because we're not going to see the bottom of the 9th in all likelihood. Okay, so I got to tell you something. This is profiling to be another decent night here on Live Lines. And by the way, big shout out, of course, to the Keg, my man. Putting us on for this. You got to see him, first of all, on the NASCAR shows, on the UFC shows. Obviously the Keg doing important things for everybody. We love him. 2 outs now in Citi Field. The run did not come in just yet. So we're still 11-9 there. We're holding Chicago plus 2.5. And just even since the time we've bet it, now White Sox plus 2.5 is still on the board, but now that number is minus 295. Okay, so there's been $1.50 at least of value that we've given you because of the timing of when we got it. We got it at minus 120. That's now at minus 295. Big at bat here for Tommy Pham in that game. Tommy Pham is up 0-2 count on him. 2 men out with that runner. If he doesn't get that runner in, especially Chicago has 2, 3, and 4 coming up in their top of the 8th. All right, so this is a big pitch right here. See if we can get Pham out. But, we also were telling you again about the over in that game. I told you about the over in Miami, St. Louis. That one now going to the bottom of the 8th. Still tied at 2, but it's going to go over 4.5. We toyed with the Cubs. The Cubs now have the lead.
And bases loaded, no outs. Or first and third, no outs.
First and third, nobody out. They're looking to tack on here, so that's pretty good for us. San Fran and Cincy, they're up to 11 runs. I talked about it at 14.5 that we liked it. We didn't put it down on the scroll officially, but it was something that we liked. Oh, here's the other thing I'll tell you that's looking good. Seattle scores 2 runs to answer in the bottom of the first. All right. So remember, I told you I liked over 7 in that game. That was my pregame play on that game, over 7 on the number. And we're already at 2-2 in the first inning. All right.
I didn't tell you the other one I hit, though. I had Cleveland -1 at +125 today. They fucked up Mitch Keller, took him out. But I had Mitch Keller's strikeout total, and that was
okay.
So that was kind of a wash.
Blue Jays with their last at bat. What were you talking about in that game? Because the Padres tacked on.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking the Blue Jays like at team total 3 or something. Right. But that was a while ago.
Yeah, we didn't get that. That was a long time ago. Last licks for the Blue Jays. They're down by 8. So that.
First and second with Tampa, 1 out. Just we need 1 hit here.
We need a base knock here for the Rays, and that should get their second run in. If they get their second run, that would also then be over 3.5 for the game, which is what we saw. And to be quite honest, if they get that run and tie it at 2, then we would get the over 4.5 that we were talking about as well. So remember this contextual situation, okay? When the starters are performing and it drops to 4.5, I like the over, and we're close to that being the case in Miami, St. Louis, and in Tampa and Texas. By the way, the Cubs just tacked on Suzuki with a base knock. We're 5-3 Cubbies. 5-3 Cubbies, and we're holding them +2.5. So that feels good.
We got 2 games right now. We're holding our breath on.
The Mets one is the one.
Mets one, and then the Rangers one.
Yeah. So we need to see if Tampa can score here. They've got 1 out, men on first and second, and we are hoping that the Mets do not score. Tommy Pham walked, so Lindor is up right now, first and second, 2 outs. Those are the games we're really going to be following. And by the way, we are through the 8th in Atlanta, and we are still tied at 13. We're through 8 in Atlanta, tied at 13. The live total is at 27.5.
Well, we beat that by 8 runs.
Yeah, we beat that one literally like the moment we talked about it. And in that game, we also talked about liking the Braves money line and the Braves -1 as Austin Riley went yard to take the lead. Like literally these things were happening as we were talking about them. If you don't believe me, ask JW, ask Philly, ask Ramon. They were here with us. JW asks, what about Washington +1.5? That's the game where we already have the Cubs +2.5, right? It's now 3.5, by the way, J-Dub. That would be an interesting middle to get. But to be quite honest, I feel good about my Cubbies +2.5 right now. That's a winning bet. So I don't know if I want to get cute. I don't know if I want to get cute with it. I'll just take my +2.5 and, on to the next, really. Unfortunately, the Rays did not score.
They must have grounded in a double play then.
Yeah. It was a double play. Wander Franco grounded into a double play. So that game goes 2-1 going into the bottom of the 7th.
All right, well, let's get this Mets. What the hell? This is Lindor at bat.
Lindor's at bat, first and second, 1 and 2 count on him. So let's see what happens here. Brian Smith asking, do we have a set schedule for these live shows? Matt and I are going to be bringing it to you every Tuesday night. Okay, full slate of games on Tuesday night. You got day games and travel days on Mondays, on Thursdays. You got getaway day on Wednesday. So you got a lot of day games that we're not going to, wouldn't be able to do it. So that's why we picked Tuesday night. So we're going to be here. And the only reason, Brian, that has been a little bit staggered is because last Tuesday was the All-Star game. There wasn't a full There wasn't a full card, obviously. The week before that on Tuesday was July 4th. I was trying to preserve my fingers. I was out there popping it off. So that's why it was a little kind of a moving target. But we are going to be here Tuesday nights for the foreseeable future as the boys of summer get it going. Brian says, perfect, great show. Thank you. Thank you. You know what you got to do, man? Keg puts it out on Twitter. When we put it out on Twitter, tell people about that, not only in the chat, but also like on social media when you see it. Great show. I made 2.5 units, listening to these guys last week. We love that. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff, especially if we're getting you money. Viper B47, I still can't believe we got Rays team total 1 over 1. Absolutely. We're there. At the very worst, it's a push. For me, though, I've got good news for you. Francisco Lindor struck out swinging.
Love it. Cubs just added on too.
Done with 7. We're through 7 at Citi Field. So let me reset this one. We've got the Chi Sox plus 2.5. They're down by 2. And the beautiful part about this is, as it stands, we're going to get 2 Chicago at-bats and only 1 New York at-bat, okay?
With the heart of the order, too.
All we need to do is get 3 outs in the bottom of the 8th, and we're pretty much coasting to – Here's the funny part, Matt. If the Mets don't score in the bottom of the 8th, we don't want the White Sox to score.
100%.
Forcing extra innings could be the whammy, the Mets going off then in extra innings.
It's the worst. It's the worst when you have to bet. You're hoping that the team you bet on doesn't score.
Doesn't do squadouche, right? So
I've lost before like that.
We'll see what happens there. Oh, the Arizona Diamondbacks with 2nd and 3rd and nobody out in the top of the 9th. So money line, folks, for the Braves bettors, watch out there.
Cubs are like bad news bears on the bases here.
Yeah, but they're up 6-3. We feel good about that one.
Yep.
We feel good about that one. They're up 6-3 and 2nd and 3rd with 1 out is what I've got at least. White Sox are up 2, 3, and 4 up that inning. Yeah, JW saying the Diamondbacks. Is that a 3-run jack?
Really?
Is that a 3-run jack in that? Is that what happened there? I think it is.
Jesus.
I think it is. No, it was a double. I got a double to deep center and 2 runs in at 15-13. In the chat, it says 16-13. I've got it at 15-13, but maybe – then there was another base hit after that. So we got 16-13 Arizona. The live total in this game is 29.5. They're basically asking, will there be another run scored in this game? And the way Atlanta's scoring, maybe there will be. But we're not touching that one anymore. Matt, Brian wants to know, you're going to ride live NFL with the Keg?
Yeah, I mean, actually we're –
Mondays, Thursdays?
Yeah, we're talking about that, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'd love to see that. Anytime, any chance to win money. And listen, in football – drive by drive. So someone was asking, for example, if we take the Nationals now, like plus the 2.5 to get that middle.
Right.
I don't mind getting middles in the NFL. I'll take 4.5 points each way and then hope it's a field goal game, Matt. Yeah. I think I'm more likely to do that in the NFL and certainly in the NBA.
100%.
In the NBA, it is inherently a game of runs. You know what I mean? Yeah. You will get both teams plus 6.5 points. You'll get both teams on the money line at plus 350 in the NBA. Literally at a base level. And again, everybody in the chat is far better than a base level. All you got to do is when one team takes like a 20-second timeout to stop the momentum, bet it.
Yeah. Well,
at that point,
I can't believe anyone would bet NBA pregame. Like, no. You just do it. It's all in game on NBA.
It's all runs. And to be honest, I also love the blowouts in the NBA and what that does for like live scoring props, because then you get guys in their warm-up suits for the entire fourth quarter, and you could and the book doesn't necessarily factor that in. You can go under on some live player props as well, but I digress. The Cubs tacking on, they're now up 7-3.
You as well, Corey. Appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Corey, Brian, J Dub, everybody in the chat. We really like it. Viper, thanks for coming out as always. And remember, it's always helpful to not only the two of us, but Keg as well. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit us up on Twitter. Hey, you guys want me money? Like, follow, subscribe, all the good stuff there.
Retweets, people don't think are that important. They're super important. Think if each one of you guys have 300 people will follow you and you all retweet it, that really helps.
Absolutely. We appreciate all the love we get. We have usually around 20-25 people live watching it, and so we appreciate that. Corey says, second show watching me, the spitting statistician. I seem like a really nice guy. And my
he's unbelievable host. So doing 7 things at a time.
Hey,
amazing.
I'm just trying to like air traffic control over here.
No.
Don't worry about it.
Yep.
So
9-3 Cubs. So
that one looks good. That one looks good because, to be honest, we're sitting at 11-3 Cubs, right? Chi Sox, man, on first and 2 outs.
Man, I'd love to get a run there.
I would love to get a run, but I'd love 3 outs in the bottom of the 8th even better, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Give me the 3 outs in the bottom of the 8th, and we'll be in a good place there for that one. Let's check your boy Brandon Wu real quick. He's up to 3 strikeouts.
In 2 innings, 50 pitches probably, though.
No, it's better than that, okay? He got the first guy to strike out, so he's 1 1/3 in. He's 1 1/3 in, but it is 34 pitches.
Okay.
And he's at 3.
I'll take that.
And he's at 3. And by the way, Seattle didn't only get 2 in the bottom of the first. They got 3 in the bottom of the first here. So remember, Matt's over here looking for the strikeouts of Wu. I told you I liked over 7 on the number in the game, and we've got 5 runs in already in the second. Okay, so that total, we're not home free just yet, but I'm not mad with 5 runs in, needing only 2, and we're in the second inning there. Corey said, Keg did say I'm one of the best hosts in the game. Listen, Keg's been great for me. Back in the day, I was on Sports Grid, and he came on, being my MMA guy, and he was just coming on, and literally the first time I had him on my show, like within 30 seconds, just the way that he breaks down the tape when it comes to the UFC, and then the first few times we had him on, he was money, so we continued our relationship. That started probably, I would say 4 years ago or so. And for those of you who don't know, I was at SNY, which is a regional cable here in New York, Sports Grid, did some time with the Action Network. Now I'm also with a site called FTN Bets, doing a podcast every week. So, follow me at Spittin' Speeds. You'll see all the content that comes out. And I know a lot of the betting guys aren't necessarily fantasy guys, but I came to this in fantasy and DFS. And so I'm going to be putting out a lot of fantasy content because 'tis the season for that as well. Oakland up early on the Bo Sox here, Matt. We haven't talked about this game at all. This is a game where the Bo Sox were I saw them close at minus 176, and they're down 3-0. So Bo Sox money line is now better than 2-1 at plus 230. And listen, Oakland sucks, bro. Oakland sucks. So the Red Sox offense has 7 more at bats. They're down by 3. It's locked for me right now, but we'll see what we can get here. Would you have any interest, Matt, in thinking Boston can come back a little bit?
Yeah, not yet because my eyes got drawn to the Texas game. Hopefully we get a middle reliever.
Run out of Tampa?
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully because Texas scored 3.
Yeah. So if you went the over 3.5, let's remind people we were vacillating back and forth, Matt. On the team total for Tampa at 1 on the number, or the game total at 3.5, right?
And we took the less juice.
The team total because that one was like minus 105. The game total at 3.5 was like minus 130.
Yeah.
So we opted not. But again, runs are scored in the last third of the game. So if you went with the game total, 5-1 gets us home, and we still have 2 at bats for Tampa just to score a run. There. So
and hopefully, and hopefully it won't be, the closer or the hold guy.
Right, because we got a 4-run lead.
Yeah.
It's a non-save situation. So that's actually definitely good if you bet the live total for the game because you've cashed. But to be honest, if you're holding that over 1, you can't lose. And the fact that they've opened up the gap, maybe they save their A relievers. So that's actually a positive development for us. And I got to tell you something else. Another one that, if you listen to us, has officially cashed, that it is 8-7 Cincinnati, San Francisco. All right. So we were talking about that at 14.5.
And I still think there's some money to be made on that. I mean, they may keep scoring.
Yep. And Encarnacion went yard. It was a 3-run jack. Cincy takes an 8-7 lead. We were talking about that one over 14.5. That one is home free as well. Guys, I don't know how many times you got to tell you, unless, of course, and I say it on Twitter all the time, unless you are allergic to winning money, Live Lines is the place to be. Okay. If you have some kind of weird money allergy, like when you get paid, you break out in hives or something, then don't tune in. Okay. Don't tune in then. But, these overs we're hitting. Cubs plus runs we're hitting. Corey's saying it's something in the air tonight. It really is something in the. Even the Kansas City Detroit game has 16 runs on the board. We gave out plus 2.5 with the Cubs, and they're winning by 6. Right, they're winning by 6. We gave out over 19.5 in Atlanta, and it's 29. We're over that by 9 runs. Miami St. Louis is still only at 2-2, but it will go over the 4.5. Mets have one of the 3 outs that we need to happen has happened. Okay.
Let's go.
So listen, there's really, as I look at the board, Matt, we have said something on almost every game.
Tonight we've been a little, in fairness, we've been a little slow on some of them.
That's true.
But we at least identified them.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? That's what we're here for. Hopefully what you're doing is you're watching the games, right? And you also have us up on a second screen somewhere, right? Whether it's your iPad, your computer, and you're listening to us. Our job is to illuminate the opportunities for us. And that's why we love to chat, because sometimes you help us with finding something that we're not looking at. Yeah. So that's what we really want here. We want to build this community so we're all finding the good shit. Okay. And there are times where we were talking about it, trying to figure out if we wanted to hammer it or not. Maybe I didn't put it in the official scroll, but something like the over in the Mets game, something like the over in the Reds game. You were listening to us. Maybe you clicked submit at your book and you're still getting the same kind of profit. So that's all good. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th and in the bottom of the 8th in Citi Field. So that one, starting to feel good about that one. We're 1 out away from, ironically, cheering against the White Sox to do anything more.
Right.
So, but honestly, that Dodgers-Orioles game, we didn't really touch because LA was blowing them out. White Sox-Mets, we were all over, both the over and the plus 2.5. Atlanta-Arizona, we were all over with the over. Miami-St. Louis, okay, I gave you the over 4.5. That's going to hit. Matt's -1 is still possible as well. We're 2-2 in the 9th. Cubs-Nats, we gave you Cubs plus 2.5. They're up by 6. Rangers-Rays, we were talking about over 3.5 in the game. That's hit. We talked about the Rays team total at 1. That's at the very worst a push. And we are in top of the 8th. So Tampa's up right now. That's something we should watch here as well. Giants Reds, I told you over 14.5. There's 15 on the board in that one.
And Woo, don't forget Woo.
And don't forget Woo. Let's go back to our boy Woo. Woo is at 3 Ks. He's through 2, but he's thrown 41 pitches, man.
Yeah, he's probably going to be right there at 6.
Yep. And remember, in that game, Matt gave you the 6.5 strikeouts. He's at 3 2 innings in. So like his ratio, is good. The only problem is, will he last long enough? That's 41 pitches in. I gave you over 7 in that game, and there's 5 on the board already. We're in the bottom of the second.
What's the total in the Great American Ballpark?
The current live total is 19.5 with 15 on the board. I mean, if Atlanta, if Citi Field, if these are any indications, right, runs are being scored, even in the late games. I mean, 5 runs already on the board in Seattle. Runs already scored in Anaheim. The freaking Oakland A's have scored 3 runs already tonight.
I mean, did you say 20 or 19?
19.5, pretty much even both sides. Leadoff man on for the Reds. No, 2 outs, 1 man on.
They used a lot. They were saying, someone in the chat would mention
they used their arms. Yeah.
We got the Mets got 1 guy on here, huh? 2 out.
The Mets have 1 man on and 2 out. Yep. So, and Beatty is up. It was Alvarez, the young stud catcher, who's on.
No doubles. Yeah.
The other thing we're watching right now is 1 out in the top of the 8th for Tampa. And the guy, Randy Arozarena, is up. So we'll see. Matt, what'd you do? You did a little bump off camera? You're over here sniffing, grinding your teeth with a little quick Tuesday night action?
No. I don't partake.
Fair enough.
Speaking of partaking, have you ever been to a place called Twin Peaks?
No. Is that a gentleman's establishment?
It might as well be, because they're strippers in training. It's like Hooters, only way sluttier.
Gotcha.
They just opened a location that literally I could walk to every day.
Nice.
It's going to be a problem.
Why don't you do a show there Tuesday night? And the Tampa Bay Rays, Randy Arozarena goes yard. The home run derby finalist goes yard. That is a 2nd run for Tampa. So our team total hits. Jonathan Nelson let us know. I checked and confirmed. Randy Arozarena went yaya to left field. So the over there hits as well. Okay,
did we got it through the 8th?
And we've gotten through the 8th in Citi Field.
So we want no runs.
We want Chicago. Yeah, we just want the White Sox to lose right now.
Yep.
So let me recap this. Okay.
Good night, dude. Good night.
Not a bad night. I'll say that. Not a bad night. If you look at the scroll, okay, look at this. Atlanta, Arizona, over 19.5. Ching. Cubs plus 2.5. While that is not over yet, they're in the bottom of the 8th, and they're now up by 6. Rays team total over 1. Cash. White Sox plus 2.5. We go to the top of the 9th. They're down by 2. We've got them plus 2.5. And it's that weird, ironic situation where we're now hoping they go 1, 2, 3 and don't force the Mets to have any more at-bats. End the game is what we want there. And if you truly have been just saying, I'm just going to tail what they say as official live plays, you're staring at 4-0. It's not done yet, but you're staring at a potential 4-0, which last time I counted, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And we're going to hopefully we get Brandon Wu back on the hill. He's got 3 Ks through 2 innings. Let's see what we can get there as well. Brandon, we got a homer back-to-back in Tampa. The Rays are now down 5-3. So the Rays have scored 3 runs, making that one even better. Remember, the game total went down to 3.5 in that one. There's now 8 on the board, Matt.
Yeah. We hit both of those, really. I mean, we didn't bet both of them, but it took us.
It out.
Yeah, I mean, we had to think about which one to take. We liked them both.
Now, either way, if you listen to us or not, whichever route you took in that game, you wind up a winner.
Yep.
You wind up a winner. Tom Zaffino says, phenomenal night, fellas. Let's get the Woo bet home. Word up. Let's get the Woo bet home. It's the end of the inning.
That, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the power of the syndicate, right? The power of the conglomerate. We're cheering for each other here. So that game is going to the top of the third. We'll see what Woo does in the top of the third. The key number for Woo here is the 41 pitches. We need a breezy inning. We need a nice 1-2-3 inning out of Woo. That's what we need. We need him one where he gets one strikeout, induces 2 ground balls, all in the span of like 6 pitches. That's what we need. Right. That's what we need here.
Welcome in, Whack
I don't know if I like that.
What's that?
White Sox get the leadoff man on. I don't know if I like that.
Of course they do. Here's Encyclopedia Brown with his stats.
Yes,
look, I told you.
Tell me about Ramon and his nuggets. I like
he's
that.
He's amazing.
The major league record for most runs in one day is 222, set in 1962. And that was even with less teams. But they played Ernie Banks. They played 2 a lot out there. So there were more games played that day. Are we threatening that, Ramon? Do a little quick math for me, Ramon. Are we actually threatening that? I mean, we got a lot of big numbers here. Double digits tonight have been scored by the Dodgers got 10. The Guardians got 10. The Padres got 9. Arizona, Atlanta is now a final 16-13. The Royals got 11 runs tonight. The Cubs are at 9 and still going. San Fran and Cincy is a run fest. The Mets are at 11. I mean, there's a lot of double-digit scores today. So here's what I think, Matt. Because generally we're going like 2 hours from 8:30 to roughly around now. What I would like to do is see what Woo does in the top of the third and make sure that the White Sox finishes up, and then we may wrap up.
That sounds good. Unless you want to get down on this Giants-Reds game. I mean, either way, I'm done for the night.
I wanted to get down on it when it was 14.5. I missed my opportunity, so I'm not doubling down here. Hey, Corey H. giving Ramon the love. He's the bad guy. Hey, yo, Corey H. calling Razor Ramon in the building. But let's just make sure we get those coming home. Let's see what Woo does. And let's see what the White Sox do.
Fair enough.
And then we could call it a day, is what I would say. Unfortunately, leadoff man on for the Twins in the top of the third. Woo at the 3 strikeouts. We need Woo to strike out a couple of guys in this inning.
Yeah, he needs 1 inning where he gets 2.
Exactly.
Clearly. Yeah,
exactly. The Cubs piling on. Oh, home run, Minnesota. 2-run jack for the Twins. Minnesota takes a 4-3 lead in that one. Not great for Woo, but if you listen to me on the over 7, you are pretty much home free. I said over 7. We've already got 7 runs on the board in that one. So let's see now Woo with nobody on, nobody out. Let's have him strike out the side here. Let's just have Woo strike out the side here. That's what we need. Let's get Woo to strike out the side. We got 2 outs in Citi Field for the White Sox. So we're 1 out away from that being done. David Robertson is on for the potential save for the Metropolitans. In the late games, just the last check, Angels up 3-1 in that one. Gleyber Torres went yard. He of the 260 average, which is the best the Yankees can offer in that lineup tonight. But it's 3-1 Yankees, 3-0 Oakland. We talked about that a little bit. What do you think about that one? Boston coming back at all?
I mean, I'm sure.
Right.
Hey, like I always say, bad teams find ways to lose.
It's true. That is absolutely true. They sure do. They sure do. We'll see what Woo does. 2 outs for the White Sox. Elvis Andrus is up, man on first. Oh, a 2-run homer would really kind of crush us with the White Sox. Well, it wouldn't, but
right, would still be a 90% favorite, but
there would be a path for us to spectacularly lose that one. But
Andrews generally doesn't.
No, he's not a power hitter. We'll see if he We just want him to ground out and end this game. Woo, 50 pitches in. We need him to get some strikeouts. That's what we need there. We need him to get some strikeouts. They've slowed down a little bit in Cincinnati. It's still 8-7 there.
2-2 to Andrews. Guy on first.
Woo walked a batter. So that's pitches that are not helpful. He's now at 51 pitches.
He probably only has even if he shuts him down.
He might get to 5, and that's about it. So we need him to strike some dudes out. Full count on Elvis Andrus here. David Robinson making it interesting, as he tends to do, if you want to know the truth.
Yes.
Ramon giving us the 164 runs in the bank so far. 200 is possible.
You know what? There's an angle here, by the way. Tomorrow you can probably bet there's going to be a lot of runs too,
because these bullpens were used
100%
tonight. These bullpens were used tonight, and you're going to get some day games after a night game as well. Getaway day. Generally, I like betting the under on getaway day. If you want to know the truth,
I do too. 100%.
Everybody's got a plane to catch, including the umpires. Elvis Andrus walked. So now Chicago putting a little something together. 2 runners on and 2 outs. Benintendi up facing Robertson. We'll see if that one gets home. And let's get some strikeouts, Woo. And let's get one last out in Citi Field. We've gone to extra innings, by the way, in St. Louis, tied at 2. So I've been hyping this over 4.5 the whole damn time, and people are like, "What? There's still only 4." But now we're in extra innings. Whoever wins this game, at the very least, it'll be 3-2, and that's what'll get us over.
And I'm still holding the Marlins -1.
Marlins -1 is tough. We'll see if they could blow it open here, top of the 10th. Beautiful part is at least they get that runner on base, right?
Yeah.
Woo. How about we get some outs, Woo? I'm saying, how about we get some outs? Let's get Benintendi to make an out. Ooh, it's 11-10, New York. The White Sox have scored.
Okay, well, all right.
The White Sox have scored. Benintendi singled. So now we've got runners on the corners, still 2 out. They get 1 run off Robertson, and we're a base hit away from tying the game for Chicago, which, to be honest, it's not bad, but all it does is it brings the Mets up for another at bat. Right. And to be quite honest, usually a walk-off would only be a 1-run differential unless they actually hit a home run to win it.
Yeah.
That's the only way that can actually happen. I don't think it will, but let's make sure at the same time.
Yeah, let's just fucking get out of here.
Let's just get out of here. Right. Yeah. I'm with you. Let's get out of here. Unfortunately, Woo might be getting out of here pretty soon too. He's at 58 pitches. There was 1 out in the 3rd, but that came via a pop-up. So he's still at 3 strikeouts. We need a few more strikeouts out of Woo.
Yeah, so we're really holding a 12.5 to 11 score in the White Sox game.
With the Mets game. Yeah.
Or the Mets game. Yeah. The White Sox.
Yep. 2nd and 3rd now, Benintendi stole the bag, so a base hit gives the White Sox the lead. And it's Tim Anderson who's up. He's a pretty good hitter. Only hitting 230 this year, but he's a good hitter.
Yeah, he's 3 for 4 tonight.
That he is. And it's this odd situation, right, where we're cheering against this team that we're holding. It's we don't want this team to take a 1-run lead. Crazily enough.
Yep.
Which is odd, but we'll see what happens. It's a 1-2 count on Anderson.
The other thing I asked you about 10 minutes ago is, should we look at the Tigers against KC?
What happened there?
Well, I mean, they may win this game.
They're coming back too. That one is 11-10. Yet another stadium where we're getting a ton of these runs being scored. Now, 21 runs in that game. We were talking about San Fran, Cincy, a ton of runs. Ironically, though.
It's over.
It is? All right, great. Ironically, though, it's slowed down. It's still only 4-3 Colorado in the 7th.
I know. It was 3-3 in the first.
It was 3-3 in the first, and that one slowed down for sure.
So we got to see. Let's see if we can get Woo to at least get one.
Yeah, really. We're done in Citi Field. That one's over. Mets win 11-10, but remember, we got Chicago plus 2.5, so that is a winner. Whack Prescott says Woo is poo. Well, tonight he is. Tonight he's looked that way. But I got good news for you, though, Matt. Maybe this will be the way we get out of here. I got good news for you. Joey Gallo is up for the Twins. Okay, so we may have a strikeout potential here. We may have a strikeout potential. All you got to do is throw some strikes. That dude is hitting 188 on the season, and his strikeout rate's probably over 30%.
I have hit Woo one time on here, and then I hit him personally the week before. So I am 2-0 on Woo.
Listen, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. You get a strikeout here, and then they run him out for the 4th. He could strike out the side. You never know. We got a couple of people saying, that they're signing off too. Great show. Thanks. JW who's with us, before we even started. He was there in it waiting for us. So we definitely appreciate y'all. And yes, to whoever asked, we'll be back next Tuesday night. Okay. Tuesday nights for live lines is where it's at. We appreciate any of the love, any of the retweets, all that good stuff.
Cubs 14-3.
Yeah, that was a good one. Check this out. They ran a double steal. And it's now 5-3 Minnesota. Remember, I said there were runners on the corners, right? So Castro stole second, and it must have been like on the throw. Kepler came in and scored. 5-3 means that my over 7 in that game is officially a cash as well. So we're just looking for Brandon Woo here, hopefully to strike out Joey Gallo. And Matt, if he can't strike out Joey Gallo, then I don't think it's happening tonight. Then I think we can say he doesn't have his best stuff tonight.
Yeah, his stuff is really good, actually.
It is.
He's got really good stuff.
It is. He does. The only question is, what will happen tonight? And then the beautiful part is the Tampa Bay Rays now have 3 runs. We got the over team total 1 there. So we really like that. All in all, I think it's been a great night here on Live Lines. Let's just see if we can get Woo to at least get a strikeout for us. Oh, the Cubs are now up to 15 runs.
And the Giants and Reds are at 16.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the one I've been looking at for an hour. I've been looking at it for an hour and could never pull the trigger.
Yep. And now that game is tied at 8. We had it at 14.5. It is now locked, but we're probably going to see something in the 20s. We're going to see live numbers in the 20s on multiple games tonight, which is pretty crazy.
Well, he must have walked Joey Gallo.
Yeah. How do you walk Joey Gallo?
This is it. He needs a strikeout here. He's not getting it.
He needs a strikeout here to get out of the inning because eventually they're going to pull his ass mid-inning. He's at 65 pitches. He needs to get out of this inning, hopefully via the strikeout, and then kind of settle it down, That's what we need. We'll see what he does here. And then for everybody who's still in with us going the route, we appreciate it. We're going to sign off after Woo gets out of this inning. But we'll be back. We'll be back next Tuesday. You could always follow Matt at Mr. New to Your Town. I'm at Spittin' Speeds. The Keg puts us out. He lets us know. Cards 3-run homer.
So I lost that.
The Marlins.
It was a plus 180, and I didn't give it out.
But that was pregame you were talking about. Yeah.
Shit.
But so we'll be back next Tuesday. And listen, just if this is any testament, to the live bets that we're hitting, it's a very profitable night. Once again, 0-1 count here for Vasquez. Woo, 67 pitches. We need a little something out of him. The Cubbies now have scored 15 runs in this game. We got them when they were down 3-0, I think.
There's bases loaded, 1 out. I'm telling you, this Cubs offense is tomorrow. Tomorrow you should just snap bet the Cubs team total.
Total.
Yeah, I mean, because when you get hot as an offense, you continue to stay hot. Now the Nats bullpen is going to be eaten up.
Washington has used 3 arms out of the pen already tonight. They'll probably get another 1 or 2 in there, to be honest, as well. Hey, we got an 0-2 count here for Woo. Maybe we can get that 4th strikeout and still have a chance. If we get that 4th strikeout and then he comes out looking dominant in the 4th, we still got a chance here. So let's see if he can put a backwards K in the book. That Cincy game live, by the way, is 19.5 with 16 on the board.
What the hell is going on?
If tonight's any indication, we can hit another over there too.
Yeah, and again, tomorrow, I'd be shocked if we don't have big numbers again.
Yeah. I think that's a good call. Because also, remember, I would say around baseball, because so many bullpens have been used. You know, Kansas City, Detroit, Atlanta, Arizona, Mets, Chi Sox, you know. So you got a lot of places where we went to a lot of arms in the bullpen. We're just trying to get Brandon Wu here with another strikeout so we can, have some hope as we sign off. That's what we're looking for, some hope as we sign off. The problem is he's 70 pitches deep.
Yeah, he may. So we need this, and he'll have to strike out the side next inning.
He'll have to strike out the side in the 4th.
Yeah,
because the 4th may be it for him.
Yeah.
However, let's end on a good note. He did strike out the last batter.
Okay,
so Wu is at 4 strikeouts here.
Hey, we got a chance.
4 strikeouts, 71 pitches. It's not out of the realm.
Yeah, I mean, he could go 2 more innings, possibly.
He could if he pitches well. He pitches well, he could go 2. So I think that's a good place for us to end it, where we still have hope with Wu. And guys, honestly, check the scroll. Everything that is on the scroll is a cash, literally. The Arizona Atlanta over, cash. Cubbies plus 2.5, they're up by 12, cash. Rays team total over 1, they now have 3, cash. Chi Sox plus 2.5, they lost by 1. Those official plays went 4-0 on live lines. I also have already cashed the over in that game, the pregame bet that I gave you, over 7 in Minnesota, Seattle. And we're going to be cheering with our guy, Matt, to see if Wu can, strike out the side in this inning coming up. So everybody who's still in the chat, thanks. As we've been saying, like, follow, retweet, tell a friend to tell a friend. Matt, as always, great time doing this with you. We'll be back next Tuesday. And to be quite honest, if we do exactly this throughout the summer, then everybody's getting paid.
Yep, no doubt. Hey, great job, Dane. Great job, chat.
Absolutely.
Let's keep it rolling.
Let's keep it hot. Let's keep it going, guys. We'll see you back next Tuesday. Thank you to Matt. I'm merely the spitting statistician playing air traffic control. We're out of here. We'll see you next week. And follow Keg and all of his live bets, NASCAR, UFC as well. Big week for the Keg cast for sure. We'll see you next time, guys.
Thanks, boys.
Peace.